What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 20 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Tzarina Katarin Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, a weird sudden forest battle at the Altar of Spawn saw Igor Talichev rather, victorious but just barely so. That said, he did manage to get himself a solid amount of levels for his trouble, finally reaching that level 12 and unlocking Tal's Judgment into Tal's Fury, or I guess his unique line. The Tal's ability I don't really care about, to be perfectly honest, as it doesn't do all that much damage, and, well, there's a magic missile, which is generally speaking, but Man of the People gives us upkeep reduction for Kossars and leadership, and that includes it includes Kossovite dervishes, but not Ungol archers. I feel like it should, considering these guys are pretty good users of the archer units. I really think that Man of the People should include steppe archers, because it includes range Kossars. Why wouldn't it include them? But anyway, the important thing isn't this, it's the casualty replenishment rate, which is definitely needed in this army, because we have the hags rather than the patriarchs, which usually offer replenishment, and most importantly, ambusher, which powers up our archers or steppe archers and Akshina ambushers by giving them 10% reload time reduction, and the falcon-fletched ammunition for horse archers. Now this one I'm a little confused by, in the sense that I took a look at the stat line in between the episodes, and I'm really hoping that this is a toggleable ammunition switch and allows us to switch between the ammunition, because here's the thing. If we take a look at the base damage on them now, they do base missile damage 16, armor-piercing missile damage 3, and bonus versus infantry 8. The anti-large stat line, their regular stat line, is base missile damage 16, armor-piercing missile damage 6, and bonus versus large 10. So they lose half of their armor-piercing missile damage and 2 points in their anti-bonus, which is a little bit odd. It's a very considerable amount of armor-piercing missile damage to lose, at least for a unit. Having it is pretty crazy, and a little bit of a drop in the bonus as well. So that's why I'm hoping that this is a toggleable ammunition, or perhaps that this ammunition works sufficiently different from the anti-large ammunition to do more damage. I guess we'll see as soon as we drop these guys into a fight. And just in case you don't believe me, I could take a look at the Kossovite dervishes here, and no, Ungol steppe archers are Kossovite archers here, and we can see that armor-piercing missile damage at 6, and bonus versus large at 10. Anyway, that aside, we'll find out how that works as soon as we jump on in. We are getting closer and closer to that Tower of Torment, where we are going to try to revive Boris. Tzarina Katarin is moving towards the Riding Fortress, and Epidemius will probably attack us this turn. Yeah, might auto-resolve that, might not, I don't know. But anyway, Garrison Lord, unassigned skill points, building upgrades available. I think we completed every single thing we needed to do at the end of last episode, so we're ready to go to next turn. Go. Alright, we gotta keep an eye on Wulfric as well. Okay, there's Epidemius immediately. Obviously, decisive defeat is a small garrison, but Nurglite forces are pretty darn slow, so we could still take advantage of that and probably dish out pretty heavy damage to his army, which will make the nearby army of ours that's coming in probably be able to hurt them or destroy them quite easily. So, we're gonna fight this. Go. Alright, just a little bit too late to hear that speech, but I suppose it doesn't matter over much. Anyway, here we go, gonna do our best to try to damage this army as heavily as we can. Frankly, we're going to try to do as much damage to the enemy plague bearers as possible, as the Nurglings are potentially actually a boon in the enemy's army, in the sense that if the enemy should replace plague bearers lost with additional Nurglings, that would actually work out in our favor for future battles. That said, it's fairly unlikely, also cool ram, it's fairly unlikely that we are able to kill off too many of the plague bearers, simply because they have a pretty massive HP pool at 21k or something like that. Let's reduce here. 21k, a max HP pool, 47 armor, and then plus that 30, 40, whatever percent physical resistance that they've got. Anyway, where we've got Epidemius, we've deployed our horse archers or step archers, and they're going to just try to lead some of the enemies around while we try to knock down the rams. Gonna be trying to do the same thing on every side of the map. I don't imagine every single ram will fall, but it's Nurglite towers attacking Nurgle units, so maybe they know a little bit of something about that. I do wonder, do these towers do any magical damage, or is it all physical damage? Considering it's a demon tower, you'd think it would be doing magical damage, wouldn't you? But it doesn't really say. It doesn't say what kind of damage it is, just explosive armor-piercing base. I'm curious to find out. Are you telling me the Slaneshi towers that launch like shards of magic and stuff don't do magical damage? Or are they all magical damage towers? Okay, the Slaneshi ones might be all magical damage towers, I'm not sure. I know that for us, for Kislev, we build towers, and the third one is a piercing tower, and I think the fourth one, explosive tower, is a magical tower as well, as it is labeled as such. Not that I'm 100% sure, but anyway, here we go. Looks like some of the Exalted Plague Bears are making their way up. We are very quickly losing ammunition on those armored Cossars, but it does look like this unit of Exalted Plague Bears is very nearly done for. 10%-ish HP. As long as the enemy isn't able to activate Fecundity on it, we might be able to force this one, at least, to melt. There we go. Banishment is active. They are unstable, and hopefully, just before the ram makes it, and these guys will be stuck. Frankly, if we were able to destroy every single unit of Plague Bearers, the Nurglings wouldn't have a way into the settlement, just because they can't climb. But I still find that a little bit odd. I would think that Nurglings would essentially be able to build ladders out of their own bodies. And, oh, the ram still makes it in and very quickly rips the gate down with 73, 53, 33, 13, and 0 HP on those Plague Bearers. Damn. And that's with all the towers focusing them down and the armored Cossars as well. But that's about as expected. Besides, there are Plague Bearers climbing the walls as well, and we certainly weren't going to stop those. Another unit of Plague Bearers is in big trouble out here over on this side. We are able to, or were able to, distract it a little bit with the Kossovite archers, though they are being chased around by Nurglings to this point, and other Plague Bearers are climbing the walls as well. We're going to not bother attempting to fight them in melee with the Kossars, just keep them away, as we know that the AI will not bother fighting to take the walls, as the AI seems to be programmed in Total Warhammer 3 to try to capture your key locations. So sufficient amount of the Nurglings or Plague Bearers are up on top of the walls, they'll simply head down and through and towards our capture point. Same thing is happening over on this side. We did a teensy bit of damage to the enemy with the towers, but are now backing off towards our main location where we have built one of these magic towers. Yes, it's called Magic Tower, and it says fires magical projectiles, but you can't actually tell that it's a magical damage. Unless there's some kind of way to see the stats of this thing other than this, but if there is, I ain't aware of it. Just gotta do some reading, I guess, or just know that they're labeled Magic Tower. Besides, these wall towers... Ooh, wait, never mind. The wall towers are magical damage because it says magical damage on them. If anybody was screaming at their monitors, I'm sorry. But reading the first one allowed me to think of reading these ones as well. Hopefully they are, in fact, magical damage towers. It didn't seem like they were doing a crazy amount of damage to the enemy Plague Bearers, but it is a tier 1 tower, so without splash, I would imagine that's the equivalent of a magical arrow tower, and thus would explain why they weren't doing a lot of damage at all. Anyway, it looks like these Plague Bearers are going to take a few hits from our Kossars, though funnily enough, the Kossars are starting to run out of ammunition all over the map. Epidemius is still being distracted by the Kossovite archers. They have started to take a little bit of damage, but what we're doing is essentially essentially charging Epidemius and then running away, charging Epidemius and running away, just to keep him distracted and away from the rest of his forces. There's no way that any of our melee units can stop him. All we can do is hope that the towers can dish out a little bit of damage to him, though I wouldn't hold my breath. He seems to out-heal the damage by the towers pretty darn okay. Yeah. Plus, the towers aren't super accurate. Anyway, it looks like a bunch more plague bears are making their way into the settlement, and the settlement will soon fall. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit while they very, very slowly move towards us, as there isn't really anything else interesting to see. Now, the idea here is to try to move as many of our units that have run out of ammunition, or are in general no longer fighting, towards this main location, and to try to make some use of this magical tower here. It is a tier 4, and we did expend almost all of our supply on it. It's also not doing a crazy amount of damage to the plague bearers, maybe stripping off 5% of their HP per shot. And, well, at least the plague bearers appear to be wanting to waste their ammunition on that barricade. That's not going to do much. Allow the tower to fire on them for a little bit more. But yeah, considering how long it's taking the tower to damage a single unit of Exalted Plague Bearers, I don't really have a hope in holding off the rest of the enemy army, because they've got way, way more where that came from. Anyway, let's speed it back up. They're going to take a few more shots, and we're still trying to run around a few of the enemy. One of our units actually maintained its ammo, but by virtue of the fact that it was over here holding on to these particular towers. Epidemia is still being repeatedly charged and damaged by the Kossovite archers, or rather, Kossovite archers are taking damage by virtue of having to charge. Looks like one of our Kossar spears, in attempting to move around and into the main location to defend it, has gotten caught by the enemy Nurglings, who move at a 41 speed and thus faster than the Kossars, so perhaps unsurprising that they get caught. Trying to get these guys to actually shoot the Nurglings rather than move towards them, but they really don't seem to want to do it. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess there's just enough of our own units in the line of Nurglings here for these guys not to have wanted to fire. But let's hope that they start to. There we go. At least these ones seem to be willing to now, or at least perhaps we move these ones away, though it looks like some of them are engaged. Maybe we'll be able to do a little bit of damage to these guys, but once again, they do have their physical resistance, and this is kind of what Nurglings are for anyway, absorbing hits. Alright, and it looks like another unit of Exalted... The tower just shot a building. Another unit of Exalted Plague Bearers make their way forward, starting to use their special ranged weapon on our Kossars and our Lord, who have been staying back here and waiting. Let's see how much damage we can deal to the Plague Bearers while we hold them in a blob like this with our Kossars and our Lord. This is a tier 4 tower, and, well... looks like about 10% of its HP, of the enemy unit's HP lost there, which ain't too bad. The enemy do have momentum on them as well, so they are getting buffed up, which ain't great. And tower, stop shooting the building. I mean, oh, maybe I shouldn't have defended right here against the Plague Bearers. Please don't tell me. Okay, no. Oh, actually, I couldn't quite tell whether... No, I think that actually hit the Plague Bearers, but just at the edge of their formation, so probably not a crazy amount of damage to them. Only about 30% of their HP gone so far, and our Armored Kossars are going to be destroyed rather quickly, and frankly, I'm sure our Lord is likely to fall in the same manner as well. Tower, just keep on firing, although it looks like the enemy has broken through the barricade, and another unit of Exalted Plague Bearers have made their way in. Last moments of this particular siege, just try to knock out a few more Plague Bearers and a few more Nurglings. I do expect that the enemy army will quickly heal any units that are damaged, so the only thing we're trying to do is to banish particular units, if we can manage it. Though I don't imagine any more will be banished. Epidemia is still running around after the Kossovite archers, who have taken quite a bit of damage through repeatedly charging him. He hasn't even reached his healing cap, unfortunately, as I was hoping that he would, but that's okay. It's perfectly fine to dish out the damage that we've dished out. We don't have an army here after all, and there's a reason we neither invested in the place nor were looking to keep it, and we have bigger fish to fry for now. And we'll return to Epidemius to take revenge for him retaking the settlement. rather quickly. Or taking, rather. As we originally took this one from Danny Boy. Anyway, looks like the Exalted Plague Bears, yeah, they're not really taking all that much damage from the tower. I was kind of expecting it to do a little bit more damage, but alas. I think the Plague Bears are just too tanky of a unit for this. I'm almost starting to wonder whether the SFO towers have been nerfed or not. I feel like I remember them being stronger, but it might be that I was remembering them being stronger in the early game, as in against much weaker units than something like the Exalted Plague Bearers are. They are slow, but they're tanky. That's their thing, or at least one of their things. Alright, a few more swings of those Plague Blades. Our Lord might be the last unit on the battlefield very shortly, and the Plague Bearers also have, as I recall, decent armor piercing, 27. So they should be able to rip him apart too. And I do believe with him wavering, the battle should be just about theirs. These guys will probably shatter just as soon as our Lord does. Ooh, maybe a few more seconds of fight between the armored Khazars here and the Exalted Plague Bearers. We don't see a lot of sieges, especially a lot of sieges from the enemy's perspective, so I still think it was nice to watch a little bit of this, even if it wasn't like a full siege. As in, we didn't have actual defenses here with like a lord and a garrisoning army. Those are the ones that are really hard to find. But besides, actually playing this one allowed us to do quite a bit more damage than I'm sure the auto-resolve would have allowed us to, as I imagine the auto-resolve would have probably just killed off the entire army and the enemy army would have lost nothing. The auto-resolve doesn't seem to hate Nurgle or the AI nearly as much as it hates Kislev / the player. Anyway, it looks like these units are shaken as well. Our Lord is out and the Exalted Plague Bearers are capturing that tower, which will soon be gone. Maybe a few more shots into these Exalted Plague Bearers will allow us to melt them away. It does look like the Armored Khazars are in by our blood now, and I'm really hoping these guys will take a few shots at the Plague Bearers, but they don't seem to want to do it. Come on, shoot through your allies. We don't care. Just try to damage these Plague Bearers enough. And damn, the Plague Bearers got a fecundity on them. Yeah, oh well. Oh well, that'll keep them alive. There's no way we can now damage the fecundity while it is up and running, whether it be with the tower or with the Khazars. And I'm just laughing because of the Nurglings sort of flying away from the impact of the tower. Nurglings are always so fun to watch. And yeah, that unit is... yeah, it's still up and running. Oh well, not a big deal. I think with that unit moving forward, the rest of our units left on the field will go into buy our blood, and the battle will end. Epidemius did finally reach his healing cap at the end there, though. Pyrrhic victory for him. Let's see how many of those units he lost. Alright, that went pretty decently. We did manage to knock out 3 units of Plague Bearers. Don't really care about the Nurglings so much, but, well, better than nothing. Wish we had a little bit more damage on that tower to make it count a little bit more, and if we had either more supply to build another tower, or just generally speaking, probably could have holed up in the Citadel for a little bit more, because we just needed a little bit more damage to actually be able to knock those Exalted Plague Bearers out. But they're very strong units, or at the very least, they're very resistant to getting killed, plus the enemy kept using those fecundities to heal them right back up. Anyway, let's continue with the end turn, shall we? Let's see what we got here. Warriors of Chaos will want peace before losing the Writhing Fortress, but that's not going to happen. And looks like the end turn is ours. What's Wulfric doing? He's still sitting around there. Interesting. Certainly not what I expected. Epidemius probably going to be recruiting for the next turn or so. We cannot reach him this turn, but wait. Go into encamp stance right to the edge of our own territory. And either he defends the Crystal Spires and dies, or he runs and re-loses it. Granted, he'll get a million Nurglings as defenses, but we're on the way back towards his territory now. So yeah, Constructor, ready for duty, Ursine Chapel. Threatened with damnation by their local patriarch, the people of a far-flung Stanitsa works tirelessly to construct a colossal cathedral to Ursin. When they run out of building materials, they dismantle their own homes. When dozens die from exposure, the patriarch chastises the faithlessness of those who yet live. What was the point of that? Huh? That did nothing? What was the point of that? What the heck? Oh wait, it has no effect? Maybe it's just like a start and then it eventually will have an effect. I assume that is the case because otherwise it's weird. And ooh, Grimgor. Grimgor's returned with a full wah. Damn. 39 units. That might be a little bit much for this if, a little bit more mana. He is on March stance, though. Oh, man. This would be a terrible idea, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Or would it? I don't know. But anyway, let's see what we're looking at in terms of enemy armies around. Oh, man, I really want to see what the Kosovite archers will do or will be able to do, but I guess we will have to wait on it. Tzarina Katarin, what do we have? The Writhing Fortress, Glugmir with the Bilious Thunderguff, but not really much or anything else. You can move to the Writhing Fortress, and we'll have to knock out the cool as fast as possible afterwards. And Pyrrhic Victory, that will kill one of the poor snowcats. Well, that's just rude. Alright, we'll have to manually fight this. I guess just to speed it up. What about over here? We have to get to Stormvrak Mount. You're unfortunately still taking damage, but I'm willing to bet we wouldn't be able to. Well, maybe we would. Alright, let's risk it. I assume we'll still heal in the enemy territory. Yeah, this guy's rebuilding. You don't have much of an army, and the more time given to him... But we need to heal. We won't heal here otherwise, so let's just hope that we can hit Stormvrak next turn and still manage to pull it off. We can global recruit here, so we can still get a bunch of units in here, basic units mind you, but units nonetheless, though at a pretty crazy expense, and admittedly. Alright, I am too tempted by this, so I think we're going to attack Grimgor. Is this silly? Is it silly to attack him with 13 versus 39 units, with Grimgor leading them? Maybe. But we'll do it nonetheless. Beledna the Defender, I would like you... Well, you know what, stay in that stance. It'll reduce your miscast chance. I don't think you'll be miscasting, but nonetheless. You're gonna go right here. We can always back off if it fails. And, ooh, we can pop you into the army as well. Protective Charms, please. Oh, I also wanted to check how the Hag Witches are looking today. Spirit Haunted, Grief Stricken. No, still don't have the one we want, but that's alright. You're gonna head into, I guess... Motherland stance? We'll probably switch out stances, but it feels appropriate to attack Grimgor in this stance. Go. Well, Pyrrhic Victory, eh? Well, the enemy range units are going to be a big problem. The Orc Error Boys. I don't see an easy way to knock them out. The melee troops we can certainly deal with. I wonder what the... Nah, the reinforcements coming in basically instantly. Does he have a caster? He does, and he has plenty of mana to use it. He has Fists of Gork and Gaze of Mork spam, but he doesn't have the foot or anything like that, so that's good for us. Let's get the Lichbone Pennant on... That's a question. Do we put it on Urogny for magical damage, considering he's going to be around for a long time, or do we put it on, for example, one of the Acolytes of Ursun to do more damage? Let's give it to one of the Acolytes for now. Grimgor is still going to be a very big problem without the Golden Knight to silence him. Nonetheless, tiny stack versus Grimgor's full wah and his stack. Go.
Your children will grow old and fat thanks to your bravery this day.
Ooh, love the lighting here. Anyway, here we go, and here they go. Looks like the enemy will draw first blood by using a Gaze of Mork by the looks of it, and hitting one. Oh, wow. Hitting one of our Acolytes of Ursun, knocking out 17 troops from across the map, and taking about 15% of their HP off. Not bad at all, Mr. Shaman. The Gaze of Mork is a very cheap spell at, what, 5 mana, 4 mana, something like that? If I can find you here. Yeah, 5 mana. That's pretty good. 19 kills and 3.8k damage for a magic missile from across the entire map. Yeah. Maybe I'm all wrong on the magic missiles. 312 range. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. But anyway, we're gonna speed this up a little bit. And oh my. He just hit us again, and we just lost a bunch more units. He took like 40% of the HP from Felix and killed the like 30 Kossars and like 50 Kossars in another single shot. Damn. Gaze of Mork. Yeah, he's up to 62 kills and 11,000 damage with 2 uses of that spell. Didn't Grimgor also have full mana, so we can expect like another 18 of those? I am quite concerned. Okay, well, in light of that, we're going to need to move towards the enemy army. We were waiting for Beledna the Defender to get onto the field, as we will definitely need her casting. And we're going to try to attempt to move towards the enemy army here. I did want to see if we could wait a little bit and try to see if the enemy would keep launching those Gazes of Mork at us. And it does seem to want to do so, though it does seem to also want to ignore our single entities in favor of attacking these guys. So we're going to move here in order to use this little mountainous terrain, or a little plateau, or whatever you want to call this, as cover, wherein hopefully it will shield our infantry and allow us to approach the enemy army without getting hit by that Gaze of Mork. And there we go. That did seem to work out. He tried to go for Beledna the Defender and did basically no damage because the Gaze of Mork impacted on the cliffside. Good for us. And the rest of our units are going to move forward. We will get a few shots of the Hagwitch, though it looks like the terrain is interfering with her in the same manner that it was interfering with the Gaze of Mork. We do still have to approach this battle very, very carefully, as the enemy outnumbers us to a pretty hilarious degree, and we're not really fighting on even footing, at least not our infantry and stuff, though Urogny, Gotrek, Felix, they'll, I'm sure, be able to deal with the enemy pretty okay. Beledna the Defender does get hit with another Gaze of Mork, and damn, that shaman is doing work today. But our command squad has reached the enemy, and the Gobos, I would wager, are going to rout pretty quickly, standing against Urogny and co. And these warbears, here comes Gotrek, moving much faster than Felix, and Felix will of course bring up the rear and join the fray as well. Alright, there we go. Start whacking away at those Gobos. We will be moving the Acolytes of Ursun in as well, but they obviously move a little bit slower than the command squad. Alright, and the enemy, will charge their pump wagons, the Logie Bogie Spore Splodas, towards our command squad, and that actually works for us, as we will directly target them. Don't want those Spore Splodas rather, working through our Acolytes of Ursun, who have finally moved in and are going to start attacking the enemy Gobos. Now, Gobos versus Acolytes of Ursun is probably a pretty horrifically bad matchup for the enemy. Anti-large or not, the Acolytes should be destroying chaff infantry with pretty great ease, so hopefully that works out reasonably well for us. The Trolls are in the midst of this as well, and with our anti-large we should be able to... Oh, here comes another Gaze of Mork. Good lord. That one Gaze of Mork took more than half of the HP off the Hagwitch, and I think... No, okay, she only has 12% spell resistance, but still, damn, a single shot, more than half HP. Another one of those and she'll die. Oh, damn, this Orc Shaman. He's a legend. Bludget Madeira. I will remember you, sir. 18,000 damage on ya. He's definitely going to outdo, I think, the entire enemy army, including Grimgor. Anyway, time to get our abilities off from the from the Hagwitch. The things in the woods are summoned and on the field, and we'll try to hit the enemy in the back line. We gotta try to make sure that we rout as many of these gobos as fast as we can. Grimgor is marching his way forward as well, but, well, we've killed him before with Uragni and Gotrek and co, and I'm sure we can do so again. I guess right now the big issue is trying to get towards him through the press of enemies. He is activating his Blood-Forged armor, possibly... yeah, he's going to activate Gitsnik as well, and is going to start ripping through our Acolytes of Ursum. So we do need to close the distance with him, and thus we will clear away some of the gobos with having Beledna cast a Overcast Hailstorm right upon them, in hopes of opening a hole in the enemy lines and allowing our command squad to move through it and to move towards Grimgor. A little bit difficult to see what's happening as there's so many effects on screen at once, but it does tend to be the case for Kislev when you're using the Patriarchs and casting magic at the same time. Looks like Uragni and Gotrek and Felix have managed to make their way through towards Grimgor. He has called one of his Black Orc big bosses towards him as well, but these three should be able to bring him down decently easily. Felix hits pretty hard as well, 125 melee attack, though his weapon strength is relatively low. Gotrek's got a lot to contend with here, and has got a lot of debuffs on him as well. His melee defense down to a mere 5 between our debuffs. And that means pretty much every blow will be landing from any one of them. Alright, so they can keep working on Gotrek. Our things in the woods are still doing work, even if they're not getting crazy amounts of kills, at least not compared to the Acolytes of Ursun. 80 kills isn't too bad, and they are distracting enemy range units and taking hits for the rest of our army. Acolytes of Ursun continue to make a mincemeat of the enemy piles of gobos. And of course, we do have to remember that regardless of their numbers, the enemy army is full of units that are in march stance. Their vigor is heavily depleted, and that definitely works in our favor, as an SFO vigor is such an important thing. Finally, it's time for Beledna to cast the spell she's been saving. A blizzard comes down. Only about 3 or 4 units to be caught in it, but we need those range units reduced in number as much as possible, as they are firing upon the Acolytes of Ursun, and we can't really fire back. Sure, we do have these 3 units of Kossars with spears, but they've been repeatedly charged by enemy range units, or enemy cav, and there's just too many range units for them to be able to knock out with their limited ammunition. The enemy Squig Coppers are pretty heavily damaged. Both the Black Orc Big Boss and Grimgor are down to about 20% of their HP, while we can see Gotrek, Felix, and the Patriarchs and Uragni are both pretty much full. Between the Saliak's healing ability, as well as the Daja's Lantern, I don't know, we have a healing item that provides regeneration in an area. And these guys are just fine, and Grimgor's down to 200 HP. I can't see him anymore. There he is. You can see his shadow because he's bigger than everyone around. And hopefully we can catch him and bring him down, though I suppose it doesn't really matter if he runs off the field, as he'll be done for either way. Because it is a march stancing army. And there we go, Uragni gets the final blow. Grimgor goes down. As we can see, as soon as he falls, a bunch of his troops start withering in terms of their leadership. Our Acolytes are still in the fight, though several of them have taken quite a bit of damage. These guys are down to half HP. The Hagwitch is pretty badly damaged. These Acolytes down to maybe 25% of their HP. But still very much in the fight. Gotta try to get our single entities to work on the enemy trolls. Patriarch, Uragni, etc. are all here. Gotta knock down the swamp things. But it won't matter for much longer, as the enemy is starting to run out of melee units. The range units are still firing, and it's time to finally move through the press and head towards that damn Orc Shaman who did so much work. Alright, charge right on through, and it'll be one of the Patriarchs to... Oh, wow, look at that. Damn. Uragni and the Patriarch barreling through the enemy lines with their bears, sending orcs and gobos alike flying as they head towards this Orc Shaman. Orc Shaman will waver, will break and shatter, and with him, the rest of the army will go. Very, very nice. 301 kills on these guys. I mean, as expected, it was a very target-rich environment for the Acolytes of Ursun, and I'm sure they enjoyed themselves greatly. Lovely. Very, very nice. Like, you always gotta love fighting against massive hordes of enemies. They're always really fun battles. Alrighty, there we go, outnumbered 3-1, who cares? That's just another day in the life of Urogny. And very, very nice. And 3-1, I mean, talking about the numbers of units, not the numbers of models, because that's quite a bit more than 3-1. But anyway, very nice. Certainly we took some damage on various units of our Acolytes of Ursun, but they did pretty fantastic. I think by virtue of the fact that our army looked weak to the enemy is what made the Grimgor AI choose to march stance, and the lack of vigor and did screw him over. That said, great job to that Orc Shaman, 18k damage and just really annoying uses of the Gaze of Mork across the entire map. One hit from the Gaze of Mork took half of the HP off that Hagwitch, and I'm pretty sure the Hagwitch also has spell resistance, so that was pretty crazy. Definitely have to watch out for that sort of thing. But anyway, pardon the Captain, over 1,000 kills and 115,000 damage on Beledna the Defender. Hardly surprising, and I think she also helped carry the day quite a bit. Urogny once again quite outdid Mr. Gotrek this time around. Well, I guess they were all whacking away at Grimgor, though. Lovely. Army destroyed. And a Saint Anushka's Fingerbone. We have a current one already, and it's on Tzarina Katarin. This is basically a heal every 25 or every 60 seconds. It's not for a crazy amount at only 2.5% HP versus the 30% HP recovered by the Potion of Healing. I guess in theory that would make it inferior, wouldn't it? Because you'd have to use it like over 10 times to get that, to get the same amount of HP that you would have over a Potion of Healing. The thing that's good about it is that it does offer that 25% damage resistance. I think on your Urogny, the Healing Potion would probably be better. But the Fingerbone might be better on Tzarina Katarin. 25% damage resistance when she's on that sleigh is quite valuable. Anyway, Warbear for you, Kislev Kossar for you, but you're not getting that. I think somebody is short a Kossar, but I don't know who it is. I don't think it's you, is it? No, you have a Kossar. Damn, one of our armies was a Kastalton. One of our new armies didn't have a Kossar. Or was it an Akshina Informant that we didn't have? Wait, new guy? Is it new guy? Oh no, he has a Kossar. Damn it, who didn't have a Kossar? Yes, I'm aware that we can... Wait, maybe it was Beledna. Oh, no, she also has a Kossar. Okay, well, I'll find whoever is missing the Kossar eventually. I hope. Also, that was a pretty nice battle. Let's get a few names in there. You know what? I've been doing the whole, you know, 1 or 2 names per episode. Let's do like a big blob of names. Streltsy. Romanov's Rifles. I thought I was going to do that last episode. I don't remember if I did. Doesn't look like I did. Alright, Romanov's Rifles for you. Let's go to Ice Guard. The only place where we can find the Ice Guard are in Tzarina Katarin's army. She's got 2 named and only 1 left unnamed. Alright, so you can be Ice Spicers. There you go. And of course we'll name more Ice Guard when she actually has more Ice Guard. It's gonna be a bit. Armored Kossars, I know where to find you. Plenty of them here. Cold Steel Company will be joined by the Blades of Plesk. And for one of the Armored Kossars with great weapons, the Chernobog's Hammers. Does that work for it? Yes, it does. I want to see if the apostrophe worked. Also, we are starting now to build Akshina Ambushers up for the Akshina Ambusher army. So let's get some names on them immediately. Frostbite Rangers for you. And since there's 3, I guess we'll name 3. Blizzard Owls. And Eyes of the Tzarina. Alright, and actually while you're here, you need to build 3 more. I wish they weren't so expensive, but, well, this army does need them, so it's gonna get them. Alright, Frostworms. I do believe we were going to transfer some Frostworms. You can be Coldheart. And this guy and these little grums, well, they'll all need to separate from each other. Also you, Frost Maiden, Ice Maiden. Frost Maiden, damn it. Well, let's go start stealing tech from the Fekendites.
Frost Maiden.
She's a spare Frost Maiden from Castalton's army. Well, spare for now. Shrewd Advisor. Nice. Alright, you're gonna go and get on the field. You are also a Shrewd Advisor unless I'm mistaken, and you're gonna join Castalton's army, like so. And I guess you're gonna have to catch Castalton. Actually, let's give you these spells, though. 1, 2, 3, and we have 4 points remaining, so I guess you can have Replenish Troops and max out towards Battle him first. And probably Saliak's Lullaby second. Alright, too bad you can't immediately join the army, but it's okay, you'll do it next turn. Castalton, you are missing what? You're missing your second Boydanov's Brawlers, so that you can have 2 Blunderbusses, 2 Bardishas, and, or whatever they're called here. It is Blunderbusses. 2 Bardishas, and then 2 of the Great Weapon variants. And I guess we now have to decide where it is that we send you. We could send you this way to defeat Wolfric. I was gonna send you to fight the ogres, though. On the other hand, it would be nice to deal with all of the Norskins. Then if we don't send you this way, unfortunately that'll mean that we have to send Victor Zamvin around to deal with the orcs at Karak Azorn. Hopefully, while moving there, we don't get attacked by a full stack from the ogre kingdoms. Alright, and there's nobody at Karak Azorn currently, though there is a defensive structure, so I guess that's where you're going, sir. Alright, looks good to me. And we don't need Purge the Steppes anymore, at least not right now, so we'll switch to Awaken the Land. Here, Uragni. You're in Motherland stance. I take it you will not be able to reach Granite Spikes this turn, so you'll go into Encamp, which... Huh. Did he lose movement? That's weird. It's very weird.
Ice goes.
I mean, we could move forward and take wait, we won't take attrition here, we just won't heal. But we should heal. It's not enough of an army to... On the other hand, the command squad could probably kill us. We can always heal up next turn. Oh, no, we won't heal. I lied. Alright, fine, Encamp then. Encamp, and then we'll use Beledna, or we'll pop Beledna into Encamp as well. And pop her right here. I really would have liked Beledna to have... well, actually, I would have liked both of them to make use of that power reserve, but whatever, all good. Or to channel. Anyway, I got distracted. Oh, actually, while we're in Uragni's army, let's name another one of these guys. Acolytes of Ursun, 2 Beornings. Like so. Where do we got... You know what, let's name some units in Castalton's army, because, you know, he hasn't had a chance to fight yet. Let's go name both of these little groms of his. Roar of Ursun, and this little grom can be the Hammer of Tor. Alright, so we got Tor and Ursun here. Now we need something for Daj and something for Saliak in this particular army. Also, have we named any of the things in the woods? I was gonna, but I don't remember if I did. Mordheim Beowulf's The Things in the Woods. No, we did not. Alright, let's name on the view. Alright, the Moors Alib Howlers. This one's one of mine. I don't know if these guys exist, but that's what I said instead of the Mordheim Beowulfs. So, it's a thing now, it exists. And how about Steppenwolves? Or is it Wolves? I don't remember. I'll go with Wolves. And, alright, let's do one more. What is a sled to name? You know what, while we're naming Castalton's army, let's continue naming Castalton's army. Heavy war sleds or light war sleds? Let's go Blood Erasers. Alright. Nice. Alright, that's good enough, I think. That's a lot of names at once. Let's keep on moving. Tzarina Katarin, you're gonna attack, and ooh, we have a Ataman thing. For you, sir, we have fiscally prudent income from buildings plus 10%. Yes, please. Easy, easy choice. Show fiscal prudence. Beautiful, and that was the only Ataman choice, but it was a good one. We've been waiting to get some more of those on the field. Anyway, let's keep everybody else moving. Demetrius Sokin. So you guys are supposed to attack the Winter Pyre, right? Alright, so I guess we're gonna do this. You're gonna go here. And I'm gonna have to heal up here anyway. What do we have in terms of defenders there? Not much. Alright, so we are going to fight this. I'll just fight this manually. I really just want to see what happens with the archers here. You can move in as a reinforcement, sort of. And I guess you're not going to be needed here, and we can send you somewhere else. You can leech some XP. Oh, actually, you can't. I can't quite tell whether you can reach it or not, but I suppose it doesn't really matter over much. And this guy moved here this turn. Yes, yes, indeed he did. Also, before we do that, let's double check 5 turns until Tamarkan presumably redeclares war on us. Definitely want to keep an eye on that. Now, yes. You. We could level these guys up, but it's fine. I just want to see the functionality of those step archers. Though admittedly I am really quite concerned by their loss of armor piercing. They're going to be even weaker at damaging the Forsaken there. Presumably. Alright, so do they have a toggle? They don't appear to have a toggle. Okay, maybe we can't see... Can you see ability? You can see abilities, meaning that it's a downgrade? Okay, maybe it functions differently, or it seems to function... Okay, let's find out. You guys gonna blub up here, start deployment. And you're gonna fire on those units. We will... I don't know. Set up here. The enemies will charge towards us. Oh, right, this map is kind of iffy. That's fine. Alright, you guys go here. Akshina Ambushers out front so that you can get into firing range, and we'll have the healthier units of Kossars out front as well. I don't know if the thing will interfere with your firing, but I'm willing to bet that it will, so go here. 2 more of you like this. And then 2 more of you like that. Technically, you guys should skirmish as well, and normally I would have you doing so, but I don't want you to interfere with the step archers, because I'm once again curious as to how they'll do. Alright, I'm gonna start battle, then I'm gonna slow it down. I want to see the effectiveness here of their first volley. See how much damage they do, and see if they knock out any units, or if it's genuinely an actual downgrade. Alright, there we go. There's the first volley. Let's see if their HP drops significantly. Honestly, not really. Very insignificant damage to the Forsaken there. I did see, or at least it looked like it. Let's watch another volley for a second. In the name of experimentation. I thought that these guys separated their... Okay, you know what? I can't. Slow-mo. No, they're still super accurate into one location. And yeah, they do like no damage to the Forsaken whatsoever now. And having lost their anti-large with their armor piercing, what the heck? Why would this be a thing? Why would you make them weaker? I don't understand what the point of this was. This is really weird. Is this an oversight? Was it supposed to be a toggle? We know that we have things that have a toggleable ammunition. Well, either way, they can keep annoying the enemy. Okay, let's speed this up while they do. They do have skirmish mode on, so in theory they shouldn't be caught, although we should, if anything, force them to run towards our main line. So let's turn skirmish mode off. You guys go here. All of you go here. You guys, stay back here, sort of. Try not to interfere with anybody. Should probably cast a few spells. Now you guys go here. Other than the Forsaken, everybody else is probably going to be too slow. Although the Flyers are... well, they still got potential to reach us. Let's keep you running with very little damage you deal. Man, I'd hate for the Kossovite archers to no longer be useful to us. And you know what? I think we'll use this instead. And then you can slow down the other one. And everybody else just back up. You've stopped now, right? Pack trap? Looks like you're still moving. Alright, you guys move away this way, move away this way. Reinforcements ever... Oh, right. I honestly forgot that we were gonna get reinforcements in this battle. Not that it matters over much. Alright, you guys move this way. You guys can just sort of run through, because good luck to the enemy to catch you. I guess you're still good for that, but the damage... Lessening the damage still seems weird to me. Alright, you guys go this way. You can turn the skirmish mode back on and run around. You... probably cast a few of your... No, you're too far. Nah, that's fine. Maybe I'm missing something about this. I wonder. But yeah, before with the anti-large, at least you were doing damage to certain units. Also, Kshina ambushers, turn off skirmish mode, my bad. I got distracted by the experimentation and then forgot about it. Yeah, they're doing no damage to the Beasts of Nurgle now, and I'm 100% sure that they were doing damage to the Beasts of Nurgle previously. Because when we were fighting that forest battle, they were doing pretty okay. Alright, you guys back off now. You can cast this. And we can get a few lords going. Ah, there's that great unclean one. Oh, I should have saved the Tormentor sword for that. And oh, I turned off skirmish mode on you guys, right? Back away, turn on skirmish mode. Anybody else fire? You two can back off. You have Soul Blight now as well, so you can just pop at that, and the enemy won't be able to do anything about it. Good. Alright, Druzhina, did I back you up sufficiently? Yeah, I can fire into that great unclean one or whatever. You can activate the Znarkharja's ward, damage resistance increase, and pop a Spirit Leech on. Pop it on the enemy lord. Alright, rest of you, go target the enemy lord now with the anti-infantry that you have. Are you guys still fighting? What the heck? I turned skirmish mode on. You're losing units for no reason. No, why did you... I just saw you run back into combat. What are you doing? Ah, never trust skirmish mode, people. Never, ever trust skirmish mode. Fire into this guy. See about that Tal's judgment. Probably too close. No, knocked him out. Nice snipe, though. Nice snipe. I like it. And down the enemy goes. Alright, let's allow our units to continue firing on this. I just want the rest of these guys to get knocked out. And then... I want to compare the damage dealing of those calcified archers. 5k, 3.7k, 5.5k, 5k, 3k. Most of them did a lot less, well... It certainly did less than a lot of the Khazars. Which, considering they were firing on the enemy for longer, is kind of disappointing. Why would they lose half their armor piercing? Oh, man. Alright, goodbye. Alright, if anybody can explain to me what I'm missing about this, please do so. But if it's not actually a good thing, we might have to undo this, as in reset the skill points. Well, you know what, we'll probably try them out a few more times, see if they can do a little bit more damage over time in different battles. Maybe there's a few technologies that'll make them stronger as well, so there's certainly a possibility for it. Anyway, the rest of you guys are fine. You can channel, I guess, doesn't really matter. And from here, we will have to move to the Monolith of Flesh, though I guess the method by which we move over there remains to be seen. Who's up next? Mother of Stankia. Okay, so you have the choice either to move down to Varg Camp and knock out one of Epidemius' other territories, or if we move you to Greyling Moot, which you can hit in a single turn, you can start moving to the Altar of the Crimson Harvest and hopefully fight in Wulfric, which would be nice. Pyrrhic Victor... Nah, for the love of... Alright, can you enter this army now with your protective charms, please? Get a little bit of a XP as well. Alright, is it still Pyrrhic Victory, medium casualties? I really don't feel like fighting this even manually, since we have a lot of little manual fights to do, but we may still have to. Alright, let's keep you there, and I hope I won't forget, because, well, we just fought and we want to separate. Zakhar, you stay here near Longship Graveyard, keep an eye on Wulfric, but let another crit failure. Typically Cold Fortress, are we getting to level 20? No, wow, no, that was like... a tiny percentage of this. It's gonna be a while, but I guess considering you failed, that'll explain why. Castalton, if we move you now, we won't be able to get this guy in your army. I mean, I'm inclined to say we still send him here. The thing is, I wanted to send Mother of Stankia to deal with Festus. But we can only do that once Wulfric is, well, hurt. We don't want the Empire to take these territories from us. Alright, yeah, so Castalton, I guess you're going this way. Oh, did I turn off the... Yeah, I turned off the fast movement here. You've recruited some stuff as well, and you will need to separate some troops. In fact, perhaps what we'll do is rather... Oh, I was going to switch this guy to March Stance and then send him all the way up here. Because he'll need to carry the little Groms to the Kshina Ambusher army. Because they'll help out there. You know what the little Groms need? I just realized the SFO removed it from Empire cannons, unless I'm mistaken, but I think little Groms should have monstrous impact. It's a pretty big projectile that they fire. If anything has a monstrous impact other than Queen Bess, it's probably a little Grom. But anyway, Kastelton, you're fine. Recruiter Gujovic, you were supposed to reach Kastelton as well with that Yepiska battalion. It's gonna take a bit, but that's fine. And I guess we have these two little manual fights. Are either one of them worth it in terms of actually manually fighting it? Well, this one has a lot more units. We'll probably fight this one cinematically and the other one manually. Alright, fine. For this particular battle, since the siege, we'll switch you to the Frost Worm, as we will have no room to maneuver the sled inside the Writhing Fortress. Although, question... Ah, damn. It's got a garrison building. Okay, so the battle will be bugged anyway, so we're just gonna... Okay, you can take that again. We're gonna fight this manually as well. The battle will be bugged because of the desync, because they have a garrison building. If they didn't, I would have done this one cinematically. Not a big deal, though. Sometimes you gotta fight these little battles as well as the big one. Nothing's gonna match up to that Grimgor battle this episode anyway. Once again, Yarogni steals the spotlight. Also, did I say the engagement threshold thing? Well, obviously we're going an hour this time around, and the engagement threshold remains at 300 likes and 50 comments. Where do we attack? Towers are going to be an issue for us, but oh well. Alright, let's attack from this side. I guess start deployment, we will move Tzarina Katarin and the single entities in to break down that gate. You guys can wait all the way back here until they... Well, I guess we can send the snow leopards in as well. Until we can open up the gates. We will move the infantry in to fire up on top of the walls, though. They'll probably take a little bit of damage to enemy missile fire, but nothing we can do about it. Let's in fact move the Kislevite warriors out front a little bit, so maybe, perhaps, they're the ones that take damage instead of the guard of various types. Group 1, Group 2, and start battle. Attack the gate, and move forward, and speed up. And they're gonna use that fire as a chaos, huh? Not a crazy amount of damage on the ice guard there. What's the spell resistance on you? 75. Well, that explains that, okay. No wonder that did no damage. Alright, Tzarina Katarin, you can use St. Anushka's Fingerbone, I guess, just to heal up a little bit. Why not? And do we want to drop any spells up here? Any of these Chaos Warriors? Alright, the Ice Guard are in range now. You know what, let's move in the War Sleds as well. I guess they'll fire up on some of these units. And the Ice Guard are going to start taking damage like that. I don't believe Blizzard works on top of walls, so we can't do that. Do any of these spells work on top of walls? Huh. What happens if we Heart of Winter? It doesn't say anything about walls. So we're about to find out. Heart of Winter right there. See if it does anything. Alright, the gate is nearly broken through. Let's speed it up again for a little bit. And Ice Guard are now firing at the units. Are you taking damage up here? I can't tell if it's... Yes, they are taking damage. Oh, alright, so that does work on walls. Alrighty, well then. Move on in. Is that a Chaos Lord? Indeed it is. But so is this Chaos Sorcerer Lord, and probably the much more important target, so we'll head towards you. Our Kislevite warriors have taken damage, but that is as it should be. Alright, let's get the War Sleds starting to move in, or at least getting close to moving in. And ooh, we'll need a Taurus battle him. And the heck? Ow. You guys have separated. Okay, Taurus battle him right here. Everybody stick together so you can keep on healing. Alright, you summon, and you... Tzarina Katarin, where are you? Where's your summon? You summon as well, and heal everybody up. Everybody move on in. Alright, easiest way to clear this. Blizzard. Right there. And, ooh, Golden Knight. Activate, stand your ground, and then try to go after that enemy Sorcerer Lord. I think once the Blizzard is done, we can send in the War Sleds. The Kislevite warriors are sufficiently damaged to be able to back off. Infantry can move on in now. We can ungroup it, and start moving in the Zargard. Blizzard is down. And as soon as that enemy lord is dead, let's send everybody to kill that Thunderguff. I think we want to use Snowflake Pendant, sure, why not? Let's continuously remove enemies' effectiveness with a bunch of buff spells. You have not used Frostfang as yet, but because we're mostly single entities here, we don't really care. Drop a Hailstorm on him as well. I think if this is the Summoned Snow Leopard, frankly, you should move in and actually attack the enemy. Oh yeah, another St. Anushka's Fingerbone activation, why not? Alright, we're firing through the gates now, and you guys are ready to move in. Turn off skirmish mode and get on in there. Let's send the winged hussars in, and then we'll follow all those guys in with the... we'll follow them all in with the... Throws battle hymn. And with the Zargard. Alright, let's watch this a little bit. It may be a broken battle for cinematic purposes, but still a fight. Alright, just gotta make sure that our sleds are going where they're supposed to. And obviously, yeah, Tzarina Katarin's sled would have been not useful here. Alright, when's the next Sally XL by 8 seconds? Alright, we'll keep watching this until that happens. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. And more sleds. Back here, please. Back here. Everybody's... Guys, why are you milling around like that? Stop behaving strangely. Alright, winged hussars, join the fray as well. Enemy lord has fallen. Let's target that bilious thunderguff. Winged hussars have arrived because I hear that's what they do. And okay, Ice Guard, be careful about, well, doing that. Alrighty. Beautiful. Any kind of spell casting or debuffs or anything? I can activate that Urson's Claw and... give somebody Frostblaze or something. Could have used Swiftwing, I suppose. Anyway, Bilious Thunderguff is nearly out. You know what? I think we deactivate the Missile Fire now, because it's probably more of a threat to us. Zargard, you can move on in. And we got another Sally XL available shortly, but it won't matter because the enemy army is broken. Let's watch that Thunderguff fall. And then the battle will end. There we go. Looks like the Patriarch got the kill. Oh, actually no, the Patriarch just staggered him. Okay, that time it looked like he got the kill. Well done. Alright, and kill off the War Shrine as well. Was that a War Shrine ability? No, I think that was one of Tzarina Katarin's abilities. And down goes the Shrine. Easy enough. Alrighty, probably a lot of that damage was attributed to Tzarina Katarin's blizzard, but that's hardly surprising. And once again, it always seems appropriate for her to be fighting in the middle of a blizzard, and frankly the same goes for everybody else around her, or at least the single entities. And just had to keep out the rest of our army until the gate was breached and clear. Obviously, that should have been an auto-resolvable battle. It's just that the game was gonna kill off one of the cats. We will occupy the place like so, though it would have been nice to sack it. For now, we're holding on. Akshina Informant. No. That one's definitely going to a lord, and Vagabond. You can keep the Vagabond. Alright, and that's it there. Do we want to build anything immediately? Well, if nothing else. Oh, I thought there would be Chaos Corruption here, but there isn't. That's kind of surprising. Build the church. We'll need the control bonuses here everywhere anyway. Roadhouse. Grow the place a little bit, and Stanitsa? It'll take 5 turns to upgrade it anyway. How far is Monolith of Bubonicus? Yeah, might as well. Might as well. Fill the entire Chaos Waste with churches, just generate tons of devotion, and hopefully use it not just for the various invocations, but also for the texts that we're missing that cost 500 devotion each, so it's a fair bit. Alrighty, now, we got to do some building. First of all, Atamans. Where's the one that reduces construction costs? That's you, Mr. Master Builder. What do we have here? Lots of stuff. Gospoda, Farm Estate. Yeah, we don't really care about upgrading the churches. And frankly, the churches are going to be deleted from this particular province later on anyway, since it's going to be a money-making province. So we don't need anything else there. Now, we need to send you elsewhere. Okay, so... let's get the Stonemason's workshop up and running. I guess the question is, do we get any more patriarchs here? We probably will. We'll need 2 patriarchs for Beledna the Defender, who's going to get her own army soon with some bears, though. Damn, we dropped below 10k again, which is a bit unfortunate, but not much we can do about it. So, where do we need to build a ton of stuff? 1 upgrade, okay, 2 upgrades here in Gormadny Mountains. Oh, it'll be 3 next turn for Dwarslav, so unless something's better than that, I got some stuff here, but probably not worth a single one of these locations. Just build it up as it is. Tower of Karak and Trollheim Mountains. We got a fair few things that we can upgrade here, actually. Yeah, maybe this way. Where's Sarl Encampment? Okay, Sarl Encampment is here. Alright, so we'll build the farmstead. We will build the merchant traders. We could upgrade the Bay of Blades in order to, next turn, be able to get the walls at tier 3. Or we could just build up the Sarl Encampment. If Wolfric attacks this, it's still going to be very much a problem. It's not a great garrison, even with the addition of the Ikshina ambushers. Probably safer to upgrade this right now. We'll delete this and get our money back later. At least that way we can upgrade the port next turn as well. Alright, let's do that. Then we will move to this location, the builder, like so. Alright, lose a little bit of money because he's not putting in the money. Putting in the additional bonus construction. Stanitsa here, and that's about it. I guess we can upgrade the taverns as well. Could upgrade this church to tier 2 for the patriarch capacity, though frankly I'm not sure that we need it right now. Ooh, Saber Mountain. Let's upgrade you. Expensive though it may be, and the Brine Mining Basin. I was about to say Brine Plaza, and I was like, wait a second, that doesn't sound like it makes any sense. And in fact it doesn't. Anybody else? Goldtooth wants to trade. Or nearly so, anyway. I mean, more likely than not, we're going to fight him, though... Yeah, we're still probably going to fight him and take the mountains and mourn for ourselves. I kind of want to fight some ogres. Though there are some neat things in ogre... Just checking who wants to peace out. Nobody really. There are some neat things in the ogre roster. I'm just not sure that these guys actually have access to them. Ogres still have the problem of not being able to recruit their stuff. And thus it's probably, frankly, better to just destroy them outright instead. There's no diplomacy to do. Also, how are we here? Alright, 6 turns left on Saliak, so yeah, I think we'll make enough devotion, even though we're needing 650 now. Just enough. Mother's Hand will be gone in 50... Growth Profit is out in 8 turns. Oh, right, that reminds me. So... Before the reward was called Profit, it was called, I think, Hear the Whispers, or Whispers of the Isles. Either way, Venris and the SFO team have their own game coming out called Whispers of the Isles, and it's got a strong, very strong, I would say, Darkest Dungeon kind of vibe, combined with cult management and like a roguelike element with regards to the battle. They do have a demo up on Steam now as well, and I played it myself, and I'd say it's pretty darn fun. The demo stopped and I wanted to keep playing. So, if you haven't heard about it, do check it out if you're interested, and maybe you'll enjoy it enough to join their Kickstarter as well. If you love SFO, it's a great way to support their stuff. And anything Darkest Dungeon-like is a good thing in my opinion, as I do love that game as well. Anyway, Recruiter Gojovich, I don't know why you stopped moving here, but we're gonna move you to where you need to go. Let's do this little do this little mini fight just to keep these guys from getting too badly damaged. Fight manually. And we'll just overrun the enemy. I fear that this particular army is also not one that the auto-resolve is gonna like. But there isn't really anything we can do about it. Hopefully, once we have 2 Frostworms and 2 or 3 units of the Incarnate Elemental of Beasts in here, the army will feel a lot stronger. Alright, we're just gonna charge the enemy directly. No fancy stuff. Blob up and get ready to charge, and we'll intersperse some snowcats in amongst every single one of these units. Okay, nearly every single one of these units. Witches, please. Like so. Group 1. Charge, start battle, and go. Alright, and speed it up until you're near the enemy line, and let's see. The snowcats will run out front to charge on in, and get a few projectiles going from the witches, and then here comes the things in the woods. Probably use a couple of spells as well, rather than just watching them now. Let's use a spell here. Let's use a spell here. You guys charge on through and kill those marauder hunters with javelins. Stank, yeah, you can use Goulias on this unit, because, hey. You can use Goulias on... Oh, you can't target it directly? Okay. Fine then. Like so. And we could probably... Okay, these guys are overrun. You guys switch here. Snowcats, all of you. You know what? Every single one of you except this one. Actually, I'll screw it, all of you. Oh, wow, these guys are taking damage. Okay, you guys charge on through. You guys charge on through. Gotta remember that the things in the woods are pretty fragile at the end of the day. Alright, we do have the Witch Brew available to us to heal Mother Stank. Yeah, hopefully this hits her. And yes, it did. Alright, or Witch Broth, rather. Alright, enemy lord is nearly done for. And just a few more hits into the enemy. And let's... What do we have here again? Oh, Witch... yeah, but you have the Witch Broth, but you don't have the Witch Brew anyway. And it's fine. Certainly a lot less damage than we would have taken in auto-resolving. One loss, and it was that one unit of the Mordheim Beowulfs, because they were unsupported. I guess the one of the Snowcats charged through. Either way, we don't really care about damage, because we should be able to heal at least 25% of the HP losses. So we didn't have to be particularly careful. And just wait until the enemy army decided to rout on out of there. Occupy. Nice. Alright, and another Van Horstman's Speculum, definitely a decent pickup. We'll probably need it in this particular army, actually. Now, you won't be able to reach the Altar of the Crimson Harvest, at least not immediately. We'll have to move to the edge of this territory. Assuming we ignore the Monolith of Bjorkel Bloody Hand, which we probably will. Let's start Purge the Steppes for now. Let's also delete the Khazar Hut, as it serves not much of a purpose here. And we'll see how Wolfric reacts to all of this. We do have a new Ottoman on the field as well. I'm going to go with the one that's growth and money. And we're going to put it into whatever province is making us the most money right now. That doesn't have anybody, which is Troll Country and Eastern Oblast are about even, but the Gormandi Mountains are making us more. So we're going to go there. Unless, wait. Where was that other guy that just got the 10%? That was you, right? This place will generate more cash. Okay, so you will go here, and then you will go here to Gormandi Mountains. It'll be less for the turn, but it'll be more over the little bit of time that he is there. Alrighty, not really any money from that. We do have nobody else moving unless somebody... Wait. Yeah, no. Just had to check if anybody had to siege as well. All those sieges. I guess we're good to go. Let's see if Epidemius runs, or whether Vladimir Mikheyev is able to hunt him down. No, he's gonna run. I'm not surprised, though. Hopefully he's not gonna try to loop around like this and go after this place. I suppose one thing we could have done is traded the Crystal Spires to the to Tamerkahn's faction, considering we'd be taking it back anyway, but at the same time we don't want to spend too long here. Alright, Wolfric. You want peace? That's not going to happen. You have a lot of territory. That's pretty nice, and plenty of ports for us to get to work on. Income from trade tariffs and the construction time reduction for ports, speaking of ports. And now we're going to Grom's telemetry for that upkeep reduction and range for little Groms, since we're starting to use them quite a bit more. Vladimir, I'm going to send you to the Crystal Spires again. And there's Epidemius. Yeah, has recovered a decent amount of stuff. I wonder how much damage we take. I might do this between the episodes, just in case. Because then Epidemius will attack us immediately next turn, or possibly worse, besiege us. And we are taking attrition here, which ain't so great. So we probably shouldn't risk that. In the meantime... Madura Nasinov, can you reach Stormvrak Mount? Indeed, you can, and this, I think, will be actually a proper battle. It's a small battle, mind you, but once again, this is a small army, so I think it'll be worth our time to fight it. We cannot reach this with Uragni unless I'm mistaken. Unless you can. Nope, just short, unfortunately, so we'll have to wait the turn. Alright. That's fine. You can encamp and start moving closer. And Beledna can do so as well. Actually, wait. switch to channeling. You're fine in terms of HP, and a little bit of attrition won't make any kind of difference. Frankly, we actually would prefer to channel on Urogny, but I suppose we could attack with Beledna instead. Anyway, how are the territories looking for Grimgor? He doesn't want peace, but he only has 7 territories and has gone from strength rank, I want to say 8 to 99. Not so great for him. Sorry, Grimgor. Alrighty, before... Ooh. A Wolfric is coming this way, eh? Wait. How close is Castal? Well, Castalton's fairly close. Alright, fine. Let's move him this way. I was gonna say maybe we should send Mother Estankia back, but he can't move around the Bay of Blades. Damn. He's got mammoths and stuff, though. Just for the defense here, we might maybe get the Frozen Heart of Winter, perhaps? And then we'll see how he reacts to that. But I guess we will... Okay, well, either way. These guys will all still move around. I wanted to fight this fight so that we make sure we get at least one more cinematic battle going this episode. Though we are out of time. Nonetheless. Close victory, huh? Funnily enough, the auto-resolve won't kill off any of our troops. Man, maybe there's a better fight. Wait. Let me just see what else is around. Ooh, and then next turn you'll be able to start raiding the Tower of Torment and hopefully get that faction revival up and running. That would be real swell. Tzarina Katarin. I don't think there's any army here, but who knows? Just check.
Bring me to my tent.
Cooler right here, but they won't find it very cool once we destroy them next turn between these two armies. Pedemius is running. We won't be able to fight Wulfric right now. And you're not going to be able to reach Karakazorn this turn either. I'm still going to risk March Stancing you. Hopefully you don't get attacked immediately by piles of ogres. But I don't see him here. We also got to remember... Not great. Hopefully they can't do anything. We also got to remember that Tamarkan was here. His main stack, in fact, was here, and that's obviously a concern, but for now I guess this is the only choice of battle, so this is the battle that we'll fight cinematically. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Just another smaller battle with a small enemy army versus our own small army, but, well, this army is certainly putting in the work. Besides, I feel it is appropriate for the army that is moving to revive Boris Ursus at his starting location to be the army that buffs Zargard, as I hear Boris likes those guys as well. Plus, the presence of the Daj's Hearthblades, I think, means that we're going to try our best to make this a fire army, or to the degree that we can. Gotta remember that little Groms actually do fire damage once we give them upgrades, so in combination of 2 units of Daj's Hearthblades and then probably a bunch of other units of Zargard in combination fire damage dealing little Groms in higher numbers, well, we could do a sort of Daj army here, which will hopefully work nicely. Anyway, it looks like the enemy has moved forth some of its range units who are going to take some very nice volleys from our Streltsy. A couple more and the enemy horsemen will book it on out of there. The enemy wasting them before they can do anything, really, because they were not fighting together with the support of their melee troops. There we go. I do really like watching the Streltsy fire. Something about the Streltsy I feel is more, I don't know, more enjoyable to watch fire than just the basic handgunner unit from the Empire. And just my opinion, of course. But anyway, here we go. Looks like the biggest blob of enemies has moved here to where the Kislevite warriors, led by one of our patriarchs, are holding the enemy back. We're going to drop a hailstorm upon them while the Daj's Hearthblades book it on forward towards the enemy Boyar, together with our lord. Unfortunately, the enemy has targeted all of its range units, every single one of them, to try to attack the Daj's Hearthblades. And we got to remember that the range units of the Norskins, though short range, are armor piercing and pretty high damage dealing. at the cost of their range, so it's working for them. Alright, it looks like our flanks are holding, and we have made it towards the enemy lord with the Hearthblades in between our lord and those great weapons. We should be able to bring that Marauder Chieftain down reasonably quick. He's lost about 30% of his HP and can't do too much damage because of Tor's battle him. The enemy's right flank has collapsed, but there weren't too many units there, and we're just going to make sure that we chase off the Kislevite, or chase off the Marauder Hunters, rather, while we reposition our range units to both destroy the enemy range and have the Streltsy start firing into the sides of the enemy. The Lord and the Hearthblades have forced the enemy Lord to rout, and it's time to join the fray and charge the leftmost flank where the biggest portion of the battle was, in the back, and hopefully force the rest of these Marauders to shatter. Gotta make do with what we've got in terms of this smaller army, but the path to reviving Boris Ursus should be fraught with peril. It is the only way. And, oh, there's another Marauder Chieftain in here. Well, good for the enemy, not so good for the main Marauder Chieftain, though, as he will shatter and will actually lose his head to either gunfire or arrow rain, and not entirely sure which. Now it's just a matter of surrounding and destroying the second and last remaining Chieftain, or just forcing him to shatter like we've done and give the battle to us. Lovely. Lovely. And, yeah, this guy, Madoran, you've definitely earned an army of your own, sir, so we'll be ferrying you Zargard as soon as we can, and more little Groms. Alright, there we go. Nice, wholesome little fight, fun for the whole family. Streltsy showing off, doing considerably more damage than the Kossars, and of course the Daja's Hearthblades doing solid as well, both tanking blows and dishing out damage. Surprisingly, or perhaps not surprisingly, I don't know, our Kislevite warriors did fairly well as well, but they are armor-piercing halberds, even if they are tier 1 basic units. Anyway, with the fall of Stormwrack Mount and the Skull Road acquisition, awaken the land, please. Ooh, wow, we got a lot of stuff to build here. So we can build you immediately. Now let's build you immediately. Probably need the reducer guy here as well, or a reducer guy, to reduce the cost of all this, though we will still need to upgrade all of them. Well, it's actually still reasonably cheap. And once again, I keep saying it, I know, but he can't be everywhere at once, so there is that. Anyway, next turn, hopefully we'll now, 2 turns from now, we'll be able to reach the Tower of Torment and begin raiding it. Might even summon one of our free lords, if we have any left, like Vladimir and Alexander here, both of them perhaps, just to raid here as well. That'll just increase the speed in which the place is raided. Rather than having to wait 2 turns, we'll only have to wait 1 and see if they survive Boris. I'm hoping that the Tower of Torment is a place where the rebellion happens rather than at the Burning Monolith, as I don't know if Boris would revive if it happens here. If that's what happens, we'll have to wait until we declare war on this guy to kill that place, leaving only this place, and then hoping that the revival happens here. I don't know what happens if it's province versus, like, home province of the dead faction versus home territory or home region. Anyway, folks, with that, we're out of time. Next time we defend against Wolfric best we can, hoping not to lose the various now named units of Vakshina ambushers. It will be a minor settlement battle because of the walls here, but we might get a little bit of help in the form of a big old bear. We will hunt down Epidemius, and I'll probably either blaze out and auto-resolve this or fight this between the episodes, depending, or if I forget. We'll also continue advancing into Grimgor's territories in the hopes of destroying him for good from various areas, and we'll see if Gold2 decides to declare war on us and attempts to destroy Victor Zamvin. More Ice Court to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to the Threshold. All glory to the algorithm. And place your bets on if the Boris revival works or not. Find out next time. All glory to the algorithm, I already said. Thanks for watching.